Hey guys, Loco88 here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a tour of the OSC base which we have just on the south side of Vybor, built, as you can see, throughout this bridge. Now, a lot of you have been asking for a tour of the base, so I decided to finally actually do one. It's at a completed state at the moment, so I thought now's a better time than any to basically show you around. Now, if you can see a quick look on the outside, which I'm going to be very quickly, as obviously it does draw a lot of attention to this place, and there's a lot of people online at the moment, so I don't want to be shot. But basically, it is pretty big, and what we're going to do is go inside. I'm going to explain little bits and bobs to you about the base, some of the defences we use on there, and show you some things which we've got. So first things first, what we need to do is get into the actual airlock. Now, when we first started building the base, myself and Great Dane, this was all the base basically was. It was just this. It was just two safes under here, plot pole, and some vehicles. Obviously, it's dramatically expanded from there. Now, what we basically did, and the reason for why it's two garage doors and this is empty, is this is basically the airlock. As you can imagine, people do camp the base. We do have problems a lot of times with people, like say, camping or just hanging around or trying to kill us when we're entering and leaving. So the best thing for us to do is have this door here, so when this door is open, if I get killed, they can't get inside the base. And that door's normally opened when this door has been locked. Now, there's a gap underneath which you can't actually crawl through, but you can actually we can shoot out of it. So if anyone's trying to mess around with doors, we will pretty much just shoot them. Now, what I'm going to do now is go into the main part of the actual base itself and show you the garage. So here we have it inside the actual garage. Once you come through the door which I was looking at, which is this one, you come into this open area here which you store vehicles. Now, it's nothing impressive in at the moment, just this 50 cal, which I didn't actually know was in the game. We've been on holiday, came back and we actually going the other day. But all those other vehicles despawned because I just told the guys to maintain the safes and the base, but the vehicles can go. So we lost a couple of 50 cals and SUVs and jackals, things like that, but it's all things that we can replace anyway, so I weren't too bothered about it. So once we're actually on this side of the actual base, this is when I feel the most actually secure. You'll be able to hear the actual zombies around the building. They do cause some problems, but don't normally glitch inside here. They normally come sometimes inside this in the airlock under the bridge, but we normally have no problems in this area. It's just to cause a lot of noise. Now, down here we do have a room with some safes. We've got numerous safes throughout the actual base and numerous rooms. This is the only one room which I will show you, because I'm not going to give away the location of our plot pole within this base. It is actually hidden away in a room, so I don't want to give the exact location, but I will show you this room in here. This is one of the safe rooms. You can see it's only a small room. There's 6 safes in here, but like I said, there is safes scattered throughout the actual base and in specific rooms, etc. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to be actually going in the safes themselves and explaining and showing you things in the safes, but I'm going to basically be giving you a quick overrun of what I actually do have in them, because I do actually organise the safes and separate them. Now, in this first one, one moment, playing close by. The first one, I've spread them out into different kinds of weapons. So I've got 2 safes down here which are full to the brim with sniper rifles, any kind, Lapurs, KSVKs. There's no Shade Tac 707s down here though. It's just basically things like DMRs, M110s, all those kind of things. And there's 2 safes here which are full of those, ammunition to those called weapons, a couple of briefcases just in case, as we've got them spread out everywhere. And basically skins as well, like ghillie suits, the appropriate skins towards that kind of weaponry. We've also got a safe which is full of assault rifles down here. The same once again with the ammunition and also skins like soldier clothing, etc. I'm just trying to organise things in specific places. We've got another safe as well which is full of LMGs, so obviously M249s, M240s, any LMG, all ammunition, all that kind of thing in another safe as well. That's these 4 safes. Like I said, they've got a couple of briefcases in them apiece just in case any problems with any particular safes. We've still got gold spare around. Now, these 2 safes, these are 2 new additions which were recently moved over from a second base which we had at Vybor in the town, which we had to move as it was too close to military spawn and a store. So those basically are full of all gear that Car have been collecting, about 30-40 briefcases, rubies, all kinds of things. But I've moved those now to basically secret safes we've got, which no one really knows access to. There's only a couple of us in my group who actually knows access to the code to the door and the safes, just to make sure it's secure. So that's basically it for this room. So once we're back into the actual garage itself, we also have a safe here, which basically, anytime we do bring vehicles back, and we've got gear, the initial get dropped off into this safe, as long as well with industrial parts for vehicles, i.e. wheels, engines, etc. Any fuel we may require, also belts, ammunition for the vehicles, all that goes in here as well as the keys usually. And like I said, what we do then is any gear we do get, we unload it into this safe, and then at a later time what I do is basically allocate to the correct safes need to be in.
Hey, wake up.
One moment, we've got a little bird coming over. All fun and games. So what I'm basically going to do as well is show you the upstairs part. You never know, while we're up showing the helipads, maybe able to see some engagements. Now this area here, as you can see, it's just basically up into the tower. Open area, fully secure. Now every single door in this base gets locked as you go through it. So as soon as anyone goes through a door, we lock it behind us. We don't leave any safes open. Even if you leave it for a few minutes, everything gets locked up. So I think it can take a while to get around the base or to move stuff, but it's the best way to stay safe. So what I'll do now is we'll go up top side and I can show you the landing area. If we can get up, it's a bit of a pain. Dane built this, as you can probably tell. So as we go up onto the landing, actually up here, now this door here is basically through to the helipad, and this room here is through to a actual sniping room. Now because we are close to helipad and that's where all the Black Hawks will be landed, what we do have is we basically have this safe here which is full of our industrial supplies, which is for building, even though building supplies are spread out throughout the actual base itself. But we also have ammunition for helicopters, guns, tons of stuff, because we are technically kind of running out of space. Fire barrel is needed, as you do actually get cold in here when we are sniping in here, which isn't often. We didn't really use the base sniping at first, but lately we have done, and you do get cold, especially at night, so that is needed. A little bit coming back, which we're going to go on to the helipad anyway. I'll show you this, and you never know, we might be able to engage it. So this is the Helipad Airlock. Now I've got a crouch, as there is a base there I could get sniped from, which I don't want to really get sniped. What that little bird is? That's low over there. Well, basically we use this so we're shooting from, but once again as well, if we are coming out to the helipad, we didn't want anyone to be camping on this helipad and kill us coming out the door. So the best way to prevent that is for it to be secure by having this little airlock. Now what I'll do is I'll show you some of the positions, and the view from the helipad. But you can see from here, this is pretty... That's a bit high actually. It's good for shooting down the road, things like that.
In your channel.
It's actually a decent position to use if needed to ambush, etc. So we're on to the main helipad. It's not something we actually use very much anymore. We don't really mess about with big helicopters these days, and it is quite sketchy up here, to be fair, because of the amount of enemy bases we're in the area which we could be sniped from. This does actually fit a CH-53 helicopter, Merlins, Black Hawks, all those kind of things. They do fit. The CH-53 is a bit of a tight fit, but it does. We've got obviously stairs here so we can raise up above and obviously shoot over, and also the lower firing positions we can fire through as well. Add 1 or 2 engagements on this helipad, not something which really used a lot. Well, what I'll do now is I'll head back inside and I'll show you the sniping room which goes over basically the road at the bridge. So now we're back in the top landing area. We're going this opposite door here, and what it basically does is it opens up into our sniping room, which in all fairness doesn't get to use as much as it should do. Now, some people may be looking and thinking, why is there an ATV up here? Now, the honest answer is I have no idea. I've literally logged in just before I've done this tour, came up to move some supplies and found it there. So I ain't even asked my guys yet if they know anything about it or what's actually happened. So I don't know how that's got there at all. But we have a safe here. This is basically supplies for any kind of sniping material. We also have explosive stuff like a Mars rocket in there as well, which I did use in the GPK video. Now from these positions you can open the actual doors themselves and get a really good firing line down the actual row for any vehicles what may be coming along. Now what we basically decided to do as obviously we're needed on both sides, north and the south, obviously firing positions, so we can actually engage all aspects of the road. And we also decided to have one on the west side as well, because we've got the helipad on the east, but if we need anything on the west side, like any server missions do pop up or anything, we've got this position here as well which we can use, and also shoot anyone maybe camping in the pond, which they have actually done before. All in all, it is a good room. Like I say, it's very rarely used anymore. It's usually top towers or top helipad, but what I'm going to do now is make my way up now to the actual next helipad, so I can show you that itself. Now, workbench here, last of the workbenches we use for obviously building the tower. Now this safe is once again anything which we bring back from when we've been in the helicopters. We use a little bird a lot, so whenever we land little birds, which is on this helipad out here, we now bring the stuff off, put them in this safe here. Now this is just a drop off safe, so then I can at a later stage then move stuff from the safe to the allocated safes throughout the actual base itself. What I'll do now is I'll show you this top helipad which we use for little birds. So we're on our little bird helipad now, where we've got an actual little bird, nothing too fancy. The guys brought that back the other day. Now what we decided to actually do with this is we didn't really, at the time we built it, there was a massive base over on the T-junction over there, and also one on the hill over there. So we were pretty much going to get sniped and we were at danger. So what we decided to do was basically build these bunkers within an actual high wall perimeter, just so we can actually land safely without getting sniped. Now these bunkers are also in place then, so you can actually just crouch in them and fire out of them if needed. Now we used actual sandbag bunkers, sandbag nests at first, but they were getting they were getting deconstructed, and it happened quite regularly. So what we decided to do was actually make them out of cinder blocks and metal floors, so we can actually, they don't actually get taken. Plus I'll feel a little bit safer using these. So building these guys is a really good idea, and using cinder blocks etc. instead of the sandbag nest. Definitely recommend that. But from here, as you can see, I've got to keep moving just in case I get sniped. As you can see, you get a really good view all the way around. There's not much of the north you can't really see from here, so I think on both sides you can pretty much see everything. So we get a really good 360-degree view from here, even though the tower part is there blocking because these stick out. So you can use them. A really good shooting position down the actual road. So it is a really good spot. I think that's actually higher than these, because these you can crouch and fire, I believe. Kinda. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is show you the grand finale, the top tower. And here we are, top sniping tower. So basically high walls. We decided we're going to have to stand up and shoot or crawl up on these side actual floor panels that should be angled, so we can actually snipe other people. The reason is we don't want to be crouching here and get sniped from the local bases, so it's going to be a bit awkward, but we have to do it. It's pretty secure. We've got the obviously nested top snow can land on top, and yeah, really good view from here. It has been altered for what it used to be like. I've not really had much sniping from up here since it's been changed, so I'm not really that used to it. But I'm sure we'll be used to it. But it is a pretty good position for sniping. We also have some slight gaps underneath, so we can actually see underneath his base and outside his base. So if anybody tries to use our base underneath or trying to hide out red front campers, we can see you from numerous spots within the base. So there's numerous gaps which we can use. The safe up here is basically used for the sniper rifles and all the ammunition which we're going to need while we're up here. Food meds, all that kind of stuff. Range finders for changing the view distance. All the little tools we're basically going to need while we're actually up here if we're up here for long periods of time. Now, some of you may be wondering where the plot pole is if you've not seen it, and also some other safes as well. We do have more safes, and obviously we have a plot pole, but it is in rooms which I've not shown, obviously due to security purposes, just in case anyone ever does get it, I don't want to know the exact location, obviously of the plot pole and things like that. That's pretty much everything with the base, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think of it, anything you would have done differently. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.